Hi, it's Lisa Hanfileti, and I have a great video for you today because if you've ever felt like, um, oh, I've got a little bit of a feedback here. Hang on a second. What is happening? There we go. Okay. Hey, you got tech stuff happening? Tech stuff happens. So here's the deal. If you've ever felt frustrated that you aren't getting consistent new patients and you're also uncomfortable with marketing or feeling overwhelmed by all the tech, this video is for you because today what I want to do is I want to show you a really simple system that not many practitioners are using or they're not using it effectively. And it brings in new patients into your practice, and you don't have to feel salesy or pushy or overwhelmed. Even if you genuinely hate marketing, which I know a lot of you do, um, most healthcare practitioners rely on word of mouth or insurance directories to get new patients, or the occasional social media post without a big strategy behind it. And sometimes that's enough. Sometimes it works, but a lot of times it doesn't. Or if it does, it's not consistent. And so I know it can feel confusing and stressful. We haven't really been taught how are patients making decisions when they are looking for us. The truth is that most people are not ready to book an appointment with you the very first time they find you. They're curious, they're researching, they're trying to understand like what their options are, what it is that you provide, what your areas of expertise are. And if there is not an easy way for them to stay connected to you, then they're just going to disappear. So this is where there is a simple, calm marketing system that I'm going to show you. And you don't have to feel like you are convincing people or persuading people. You're actually creating a nice, helpful path for people to find answers. So in my last video, I talked about why an electronic health record is not a good way to manage email addresses. In fact, I'm going to show you here. Switch over. Here I want to show you that the EHR is not your best friend when it comes to managing healthcare records, because that is a place for you to do your administrative stuff, to communicate clinic-based emails. This is the power of your electronic health record is keeping everything private and HIPAA compliant, and that's what it does really well. But you don't have permission to send educational or marketing emails through your EHR, despite what your EHR system might tell you, unless you have compliance and the person who opted in has agreed to receive those marketing emails. You could be in violation of some of the FTC rules or the CAN-SPAM Act, which I explained in my last video. So what I want to do in this video is tell you about having a way to engage with your patients before they become patients, but also to be engage with them after they become patients, and doing it in a way where we do something called collecting their emails through a lead magnet. So a lead magnet is just a source of a resource that solves a problem for someone and gives them an opportunity to get to know you, or you can build your credibility. So the mistake that often happens, whenever I'm doing consultations, inevitably one of the questions I ask is how big is your email list? I mean, that's just one of the components of having an asset for your business. And what has struck me over the years is that 9 times out of 10, when that question is answered, when I ask a few more questions, it's that email list is buried inside of the electronic health record in the EHR. So that's why this is such a big deal. And when you're creating a lead magnet, so you've got this whole bunch of people in there, and being the great practitioner that you are most likely treating all different kinds of conditions. So as an acupuncturist, I might see someone for pain. I might see someone for infertility. I might see someone for digestive system issues. I might see someone for stress. So all those things fall under my area of expertise. However, when and then, so they are all in my EHR system, they're all in my list. But if I want to send out an email saying I am doing an event, or I have some new thing that I am promoting, a course that is specific to fibromyalgia and treating the pain, muscular pain, that kind of stuff, I know that my entire list is not going to be interested in that. So there is a way to segment and collect names of people who are interested in that specific problem. And that's where we get into the difference. When you have a lead magnet, is it's like you're having a private conversation with just these people with just that condition. So that's the kind of piece that I want you to be able to understand here. So the lead magnet, so definition is it is a free, valuable resource. I want to emphasize that a lot of times these lead magnets can be as simple as a checklist or something like that. And just because it's simple doesn't mean that it isn't valuable. So that's the idea here, is that when people get, and I'm going to show you how it works, when they get your valuable resource, they're looking at it and going, my gosh, if I got this for free from her, then imagine how valuable something that I pay for is going to be. So that's the idea. So it's a free, valuable resource, and it's offered in exchange for the patient's email address. And I say patient here, they're not your patient yet. They are a visitor on your website, or they are someone who's just checking you out. So they're a potential new patient, and they're checking you out. They've landed on your website as well as other people's websites. They're doing research to try to find some solutions. And what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to give them something in exchange for that email address, because that email address is very valuable. I mean, people don't want a bunch of crap in their inbox, right? So this is why it's so important for you to understand that this resource is not just like, hey, I'm going to go, build my list here. No, it's something that has to be valuable. So the best lead magnets will solve a specific problem, or they're going to answer a specific question that your ideal patient has. So I just mentioned that most practitioners have a pretty broad umbrella of things that they can treat and conditions that they see people for. And when we're doing lead magnets, you want to focus on one specific area or one specific problem. That doesn't mean that's all you treat. So this is one of the hurdles that practitioners will face, because they feel like if they're putting out a lead magnet that's just about women with fibromyalgia, then that is too narrow, and they don't want to just see those patients, and they feel like they're specializing. And that, it can be beneficial if that's really what you want to do, but the idea is that you are bringing in those people because you like working with those people. So that's a good idea. It doesn't mean you're not going to see people for infertility and all the other kinds of things. It just means you've got one lane where you're bringing people in with that specific thing. Something like a 7-day nutrition healthy guide is very broad. You can get men and women, athletes, corporate people. You can get, stay-at-home moms, new moms. Like, that is this very broad kind of lead magnet. And I do see that often out there, something like that. And that, I would say, is too broad for what it is that we're trying to do. Sure, you'll build your list, but it won't be something that's really beneficial for you to help them and help what those people are interested in. Versus something like preparing for your first chiropractic visit. That's beneficial because it helps you help your new patient know what to expect, and that's a nice thing to have. But again, it's not very specific. If you were to add something in there, after a car accident or after neck surgery, like that's very, very specific. So, or after, when you're experiencing sciatica. So then you would know those people are coming in with that specific condition, and they would be tagged. They would be in a certain list within your entire list of people. So when you make your lead magnet, you do want to think about the people I want to treat, the credibility that I want to show that I have, and be able to do it in a way that solves a problem for them and for you. So I want to show you what the technical piece looks like and some of the confusing terminology. And I'm just going to move over here and let's look at this page here. So there's parts to this that this is where practitioners can get confused and a little bit overwhelmed. So this is why I want to kind of break this down a little bit and really simplify things. And I'm going to show you some examples, of lead magnets and of pages that ask for the name and the email. So the first thing is you need to have a page that has a form on it. So this is really a form that asks for the name and the email. And that form is on a page that we call this can be called a landing page. And that's because visitors land on that page. I mean, it's a typical kind of name for that. And they find it often through research, keyword research, keywords that they're typing into any search engine. So that's why it's important to have, a headline up here and some text that tells people exactly what they're going to get when they put their name and their email in the form. So this page is called a landing page. Sometimes it's called an opt-in page because they are putting their name and their email in the opt-in form right there. And it used to be called, it isn't called this very often anymore, at least as far as I can tell. It used to be called a squeeze page. Not very nice, but the idea behind it is actually important because you are squeezing them into doing only one thing. So this page does not have a menu bar. We don't have menu bar over here on the side or at the top where we're asking them to go, about me or contact me or, the shop or anything like that, or schedule with me or anything like that. Nothing is on this page except, so these things here, and I will say these things, this part on the side or at the top where you have a menu where you can go to other things, they're not on that page. So we're squeezing them into only asking for one thing. And the one thing that we want from them is their name and their email in exchange for in exchange for the thing that we're giving them, the lead magnet. So the ebook, it could be a video, it could be an audio, it could be a checklist. So there's whole different lists of different things that you can give away for free of value. And so this is what that page is for. So there's a form on there and you're getting their name and their email and then your email software. So there's two pieces of software here. One is the page itself. So the page itself is one piece of software. And then the other is the form, the email. So that what the email does, now you have an email list. This is going to collect and store that email address in a list. And you can tag people as they're coming in, which is what makes it really valuable. So we know that if you have a landing page that's specifically for women with fibromyalgia versus one that is for new mothers who are having digestive system issues, so you can see there's completely different lists right there, then this email list software can help you to segment them. That way you can then speak to them directly when you want to send follow-up emails. So that is your email software. And then we go back to your website or landing page software to send a thank you page. Now, when did they get the, we'll call it a PDF in this case. When did they get that? Well, the email, there's a couple different ways to do this. And I'm going to show you the simplest way. The email actually sends them a link inside the email that basically is click here. And this opens up their PDF or the video or takes them to the page where the video is or something like that. So this is something that I have seen people do wrong, or I should say it's not wrong, but it's not the best for you because what we want you to do is build a really great list of people that you know are interested in your stuff that you can then communicate with and engage with and send a sequence of emails to after they've gotten your goodie, right? So what happens is a lot of times people will collect the name and the email, and instead of doing this part right here where you send them the email and give them the link to click on inside the email, they skip this step and they actually send them right from here. As soon as they get their name and their email in the form, they send them straight to the PDF. They send them straight to the thing that they're giving them. So as soon as they get their name and their email, they have the PDF, the thing they want, instead of telling them, hey, you need to get to your email, because what happens is this thank you page right here, it tells them, go check your email because I just sent you you don't say the link, but sent you the link that you can click on to get the PDF, to get the checklist, right? And the importance of this is that we want people who are opening your emails. We want them to confirm that, yes, they want this. So this is a way to make sure that you don't have a bot or someone who's spamming you, coming in here and putting in their name and their email and just getting your thing, but not being willing to check their email and click on the link. So this is super important because it builds your email's authority. Your email address has to have authority, and it prevents future emails from going to spam when you have an engaged email list, when you have people that are actually opening the emails and clicking on the links. So this is a super, super important step. And I want to make sure that you understand that this piece right in here, having the thank you page, which kind of seems like a pain, like why are they making me take this extra step? It's because the thank you page is telling them, go check your email so that you can go click on the link in the email. This is a super important part of this whole process. So hopefully that makes sense. Come back over here. It looks a little bit cleaned up now. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to answer your questions about this because I think this is one of the parts that it feels confusing initially, but once you get in there and you actually create your first PDF, your first lead magnet, and you go through the process, it's like, oh, this isn't that hard. It's actually pretty easy, and it's kind of fun to do these things, especially when you can communicate with people and help them solve problems with things that you're saying to your patients every day that's helping them. And so it's such a great way to give people an idea, like a little taste of the type of information that you can provide and the value that you can provide. So lead magnets are great ways to help people, but also test your market, get your credibility out there. So let's talk about the strategic outcome. So you're building this valuable segmented asset. So you're building this list. This list is your asset. And so the lead magnet, it's a list comprised of the right people, not just more people. And that's where having that very specific solution that you're providing is really important, because the people are self-identified in their interest and in that topic. And so you are able to segment them again inside the list, but they're the ones who are saying, I'm interested in this topic. So different lead magnets have different tagged lists. This allows for highly relevant education, targeted offers, and effective follow-up. And this is how a permission-based email system leads to practice growth. So I've mentioned, getting new patients this way, but here's where the real kind of rubber hits the road is when you have this list, you now can send, and I like automated email sequences because automations free up your time. And so once someone gets into your list and you're able to then engage and continue to email them, then you can provide them with offers that lead to sales. And these offers can be schedule with me, right? I mean, that's what you want them to do initially, right? You want them to come in and see you as a patient. But let's say they're not even in the local area. To me, that's even better. It's fine because I can still promote other products. Infrared lights. I can promote other pain reducing types of devices. I don't recommending herbs and supplements this way because you don't know them and you don't know if they're going to have any kind of reaction. But you can definitely recommend devices or kitchen things that help get rid of toxins or don't have toxins, like kitchenware, juicers, or Vitamix or something like that. If you have anti-inflammatory foods that help reduce pain. So there are a lot of ways that you can use this follow-up email sequence to promote things other than them coming in and seeing you. So you have some different choices there. So I've mentioned some of the hurdles or some of the problems that practitioners tend to face when coming up with the idea of creating a lead magnet and putting these pieces together. And the usual one that I hear is, this is too technical or complicated for me. And you can hire someone to do this for you for sure. I also recommend that you at least learn how to put the pieces together, even if you just do it once and never do it again. Like, do it once so that you know how the pieces are put together, and then you can hire someone to do it in the future. And there's a good reason for this, because you are the CEO of your business and your company. And when you know how to put these pieces together, then you're able to manage other people who are doing it for you. But also what I find more frequently is that practitioners find that it's not that hard. And then the speed to implementation is much faster because they can then have an idea, put the pieces together, and have it available on their website or out there in the world, or at some live event that they're going to, or some health fair that they're going to. They can have this lead magnet and a way to collect email addresses. So the speed of idea to implementation is much faster when you know the different pieces. And so getting over this idea of the tech hurdle is really important. And I'm going to show you, I have a little thing, a lead magnet here for you to help you with this. But everything depends on what kind of technical setup you have. If you have questions about that, just leave them below this video. I'll try to answer them for you. But in order to do this, your system, you need a few basic components that you fit together. So you need a way to have that landing page. It's also called an opt-in page. And you need to be able to have the email service that's going to provide that. That's why also in one of my last videos, I talked about having an email, or rather a web platform versus a website. So like a web platform or a content, a relationship, CRM, which is a customer relationship management system, integrates your web pages, like creating your web pages, and your email software, and a bunch of other things. Your shopping cart is in there. Like, you have everything in one platform. So I love web platforms that integrate everything in there. And then that way you're not going out and getting separate website software and trying to put it together with, email software and making sure that they communicate well. And learning different systems can be confusing. So that's why having a web platform is very beneficial. So in your web platform, you just need to know how do I create the landing page? How do I integrate the form that collects the email? And how do I redirect them to the thank you page? And then how do I have an email sequence that follows up with them? Like, those are not that complicated. And I know you as a healthcare practitioner are smarter than any of these little pieces that I'm talking about. So if you're able to get certified in what you do, then I know you can do this. So the other hurdle is that, well, if I'm going to create this lead magnet, it's got to be great value, then it must have to be really big and really long and very complicated. And the truth is, it doesn't have to be. It really, the value of it has to be important, but that can come, and oftentimes the simpler it is, the more valuable. So a simple one-page checklist or a short guide that solves a genuine specific problem for your patient is very effective. So you want to think about quick win, not dissertation. So something that just gets them from point A to point B that they've been struggling with, that you know from your experience, from your training, can help them get there quickly. So the reality is keeping it simple is really the best form of a lead magnet. And then later on, if you want to do something that's more in depth, then we can promote it and you can sell it. So the lead magnet is often a first step in a funnel. Like it's a first step in a funnel that leads to things that you can then promote and sell to that list of people because you know who they are. And then the third mindset myth, I think you don't really have this. You have kind of the opposite of this, but it can get in the way where you feel like that what you're giving away is just to get an email address, not realizing that your lead magnet is actually your first opportunity to build trust with them and demonstrate your authority. So I talked about building that credibility. So creating something genuinely helpful that serves as a powerful, positive first impression of your practice and expertise is what is going to help them get over that piece that they're asking in their head. Is this the person that I want to work with? What do they know that can help me? So they're out there researching. And so this lead magnet is a great way for them to get to know you better. I was going to say something else about that. Just a freebie to get an email address. So the building your list is what you're doing here, but it's not the goal. Like it's not the point. So I want to make sure you understand that you have the list already in your EHR. You have a list there. So that's not the point. The point is getting an engaged group of people that in your email software that you can then continue to communicate with, and send follow-up messages and build relationships with. So that's the whole point. There's a saying that there's the money in the list, right? I talked about that in my last video. But truthfully, the money is in your relationship with the people on the list. That's it. It's like building a relationship, which you're all really great at. You're all really great at doing that one-on-one and in the context of your training and what you do in the context of your clinic and one-on-one that you provide. So we want to translate that and use that in the online environment. And there's some changes that we need to make in order to make those connections. And so this is one way to do it. There are many different ways to do it, but this is one way to do it. And the list is nice because you're able to communicate over and over again, like every day, every other day, every month, every week. Like you have the ability to have these automated sequences to build this relationship without it taking up more of your time. So this whole point here is, moving beyond this idea that you have a list. I've talked to people that have like 5,000 people in their electronic health record, but these are not 5,000 people that they have permission to start sending email marketing to. And if you are giving a talk somewhere and you want to invite them, like this is just not the way to do it. Or you have a new course that you just created and it's for, women with fibromyalgia, and you want to just segment out those people. You don't want to send it to every single person that you've treated, otherwise it feels like spam, and it is spam. So this is where we want to change that to offering something of value and get it attracting the right people. And the cool thing about this is you can create as many lead magnets as you want to. So if you have different areas of expertise and you want to segment them out, this is a great way to do that. It also is a really great way to test out what you really like and don't like. Every practitioner goes into, starts their practice treating people that they think they're going to love treating this specific condition, and they find out they really don't. So that's okay. And you can use a lead magnet to kind of help you filter those things out. The opposite is true. You can have something that, is a deep passion of yours and put it out there just because it's a passion, and then find out that there are tons of people that also are interested in this thing, and you can build like, wow, I'm going to pivot my whole practice into just doing this because I love it. So there's lots of different ways to look at this. And I want to make sure that you have a broad idea of what you can do and just start with whatever feels is the simplest. So the first step is to come up with, a common problem that you're already telling your patients how to solve every day. Like that would be a great lead magnet. And then create a simple resource, a checklist or a guide or a tip sheet that helps solve that problem. And then you can build from there. And this can be done in a Google document, and then you can save it as a PDF. I recommend using something like Canva, because then you can also, a Google document is fine too, as long as you have some branding in there, you have your website URL in there. So you want to make sure there are some things that you need to make sure you have in a lead magnet that if they were to share it with somebody else, it leads back to you. So that's the other thing, is a lot of times you'll create a lead magnet and then someone will download it because they're interested in that information. So again, I'll use my example of a lead magnet for women with fibromyalgia. And, you've got the 10 foods that exacerbate and cause pain or can contribute to pain, and the 10 foods that are anti-inflammatory and can alleviate pain for women with fibromyalgia. So we're talking specifically to that group. If somebody downloads that and they've got a friend or a relative that also is dealing with that, they could just send it to them. So that other person has it, but they haven't opted in. So they're not on your email list, but they have the information. I mean, that's great. You're helping somebody else. But you want to make sure inside that lead magnet, they have a way to say, who wrote this and how do I find them and how do I learn more about them? So you want to have a link back to your website, back to your opt-in page where they can also opt in and be on your email list, and other resources. So you never want the lead magnet to just be the information. You want to make sure it's branded to you and contains things that can be valuable for people to get more resources from you. So let's take a look at some ideas of lead magnets and what they might look like in the world. And I will tell you, now that this is on your mind, the next time you're on any huge websites, you will see that they are asking for your name and their email. So even huge multi-million-dollar brands in any space, healthcare for sure, you will find that they're trying to get your name and their email because they know if you're there, you're interested in something they offer. So just keep an eye out for that. So this is just my my regular website. And this is not an example of a lead magnet per se, because this has the menu bar at the top, you can see, but I do have a button that says, hey, this video shows the 3 must-have components to help more people earn more money, enjoy more free time. So this is a video that is technically a lead magnet because I have a pop-up there. Now, it's not the typical opt-in page. I am going to show you that, but I just want to show you. So this is one way to do it. Then I have, if you scroll down my page, I have, get my free Amazon affiliate income blueprint mini course. This is actually a course where if you click on that, now this does take you to a landing page. This is a landing page. So there's no menu at the top here for them to go to contact me or anything like that. It says what it is. It has the bullet points of what it is. It's an actual mini course. Now, again, you don't have to be this complicated. I've worked with a lot of practitioners who set up their Amazon affiliate accounts completely wrong. They get kicked out or they don't make money. Amazon makes money, but they're not making the money because they're just doing some things that are wrong. And so you can get access to the course right here, name and email. Super simple. So it's a way, I know anyone who opts into that is interested in affiliate income or setting up things with Amazon. So I can be very specific in any follow-up emails that I do for anybody who looks at that. I also have, this is different. This is completely different, but this is something I'm definitely going to put this link. I'll put all these links underneath this video, but this is an actual training on how you can create an automated delivery of a lead magnet. And I even give you a lead magnet template here. So this, if you want to really learn this whole system, this is completely free. I recommend coming in here and taking a look at this. So there is a pop-up, there's the name and the email. I even show you how you can put in that you agree to emails and the GDPR. So this is a really safe, smart way to do this. And this software that I use for this page, it's different than this software. Not that you need to know that, but it's just different. And the reason is because I wanted to show you how easily you could do this using free software. So this is free, completely free. The software that I'm teaching you how to create the lead magnet on is free for you to use the lead magnet template that I give you. So figure that out. So all you would do is go in here, put in your name and your email. And then, I show you this. This doesn't look simple, but it actually is a spreadsheet that's very, very simple. And I go through everything in here because these links right here actually send blocks of text straight into your free account. And then you end up with something that looks like this. This is a landing page. So this is the landing page. So we've just talked about a lead magnet and having a landing page or an opt-in page. That's what this is, or a squeeze page, same idea. So, and this is for you to customize. You can change the text up here. You can change the color, and I show you in this video series how to do it. I show you, what you want to put in this area. I show you how you can have a image of your lead magnet. So this is the cover, and I show you in Canva how I created the cover, and you can change the content here. I also, in this case, there's a pop-up, and so you can also edit everything in here, including the colors, what's written in there. And then I have a little footer down here for you to put a logo. And then you always want to put in your terms and conditions and policies and link those there and have a copyright and your domain and everything. And then I also give you the thank you page. So the thank you page might have something like this. It can vary, but it's like, hey, you just, thank you for your interest in this. Go ahead. These are the next steps. Go ahead to your email and check that. Click the link in the email in order to get what you just opted in for. And then be sure to add my email address to your safe list so that they stay in your inbox. You want to try to train them to put your emails in their inbox so it doesn't go to spam or promotions. That again helps your email authority. And a lot of times we'll tell them this is going to be in your inbox, and depending on the email software and what's going on in the interwebs, it might take a few minutes for that email to arrive. So while you're waiting for your email, you can also give them some other information, like this is how you schedule with me, or maybe you have some other resource, a class that you want to that they can buy. So you can promote yourself here. This is just a video placeholder there. It's just an idea. You can delete this whole section if you want to, but it's an idea for you to do that. And then you can click here to take them to that next thing. So if this was a class that you're selling that's coming up, or a resource that you provide, then you can just have that button. And I show you how to make sure that you put the link in that button and how it goes to the next page. So these 2 pages, you get these 2 pages, and you also get the email component here where I actually show, and in fact, I think on this page right here, there's a little graphic. If you can see this on the phone, I have a graphic right here, and it shows the email itself. So I give you the email, and then I show you how to put the link in the email to the PDF, to the resource that you're giving them. And I'll tell you, this is one of the areas that people massively screw up. And that is how do I get my PDF, my lead magnet that I'm giving away, my checklist, whatever that is, how do I turn that into a link that I can put into my email account, and so that when they get the email, they click on it and it opens up. Like, poof, how does that happen? Guess what? In this training, there is actually a video that shows you exactly how to do that and kind of the ninja strategy around how you get that PDF, whether it's a Word document or a Google document, or my favorite, a Canva PDF, how you can upload that into one of your cloud drives or whatever, and then put the link right in here. And so they get it every time and it's perfect. So I show you how to do that. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. I think that it's easy to get scared away by some of the technology that's involved. But here's the thing. And I'm here to remind you, like, my goal in life in what I do by showing up here, my goal is to remind you that you deserve to love your livelihood. You deserve to have a life that fulfills your passion for helping people and also gives you free time to spend with your self-care, with your family, with traveling, with pursuing your hobbies and interests, all those kinds of things. And you don't get that extra time, that time that you deserve, unless you have some automations, some ways to automatically take care of people. And that's what this is about. This is just one way to develop this automation of bringing people in that are interested in what you provide and having them learn about you on their own and then schedule with you because you have this process set up. You have this pathway set up. And the lead magnet is just one of the ways to do it. And it's a powerful way. And that's why most companies use a lead magnet to connect with people and to help them stay in touch. So I hope that you realize, and now you'll look around and you'll see that these big wellness brands do use lead magnets. And solo practitioners like us use it to reduce stress and then create that kind of consistency. So if you've been avoiding marketing because it feels loud or confusing or overwhelming, then this is a calmer option. This is a great option. It's a really, really powerful option. So start with the one problem that you know you're already helping people solve and create just one resource. And a PDF version is, I think, the easiest way to do it. And you don't have to love marketing to do this, but this is a great way to do it. You just need a system that supports your practice instead of like draining it. And I guarantee that when you start to see the statistics that come back, so I always teach when you put something out there, you also want to come back and look at the data that you get, because when you have people opting into your list, there's a way that you can see how many people landed on that landing page. So how many visitors landed on that landing page? And of those visitors that landed on your landing page, how many people actually said, you know what, this is something I want, and they put in their name and their email. So that's called a conversion. How many conversions, how many people landed and then converted into a subscriber? So we want to know, well, what's my conversion rate with subscribers? And then of the subscribers, you start sending an email follow-up sequence. And of those subscribers, how many people are opening my emails? And so you start to collect data, and you also develop these relationships that build your business and allow you to promote offers later on, because now they've gotten to know you, they even like you, and they trust you. So that is the foundation for building a business that automates sales and automates marketing. So I hope this video has been helpful. I look forward to hearing any questions that you have. And in my next video, I'm going to be taking you a little bit further on this pathway so that you can start to build and see how this offer ladder builds from that foundation of having a lead magnet. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you.